Welcome back to my channel, everyone. If you're new, thank you for joining me, and if you're a return visitor, I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you if you're new as well, but it's every view counts, and I'm just starting out, so thank you very much. Don't know how much I appreciate you. We're doing lots of little things in this video. School time is coming to an end, and my little granddaughter has a couple of friends in her class that she wants to give things to. So I'm making a little pink rabbit, a blue hamster, a brown dog, and hopefully all these will glow in the dark. I had to make up the brown by mixing the pink and the green and adding a bit of orange. And you can do that. If you don't have the right colour, then just make up your own by mixing colours. Then I'm going to do some glow-in-the-dark pocket hugs for them. I will do some glow-in-the-dark keychains here in the cross with the crosses, and one little necklace for a little friend of my granddaughter's, and glow-in-the-dark shaker turtle. So it's all glow-in-the-dark. So I'm going to start mixing. I'll take you along for the ride today. If you don't want to see it all, feel free to fast forward. Because of the deeper molds here, I am using the Platinum River epoxy. It will take a couple of days to set, but it's just not worth trying to pour with another one and have it crack. If you watch one of my earlier videos, I can't think of the number, but it's called What Not to Do with Resin, then you'll see why you don't over pour in the depth of it with a resin that can't take it. So I have made up 286 grams all up, 86 grams of B and 200 grams of A. And I'm guessing, I think these take about 15 grams, so I'm going to be basically weighing out enough because they're all going to be different colours. And I'll just get some small cups here and pour those in. I've got these cups, silicone, which I rarely use them. I don't particularly like them, but I wanted to use them today just for the crosses. I'll use these little cups for the pocket hugs because they take about 15 grams, and I'll use bigger cups for the animals. So I'm going to start pouring off 15 gram lots. Hopefully this weighing machine isn't going to play up like it was doing before. So that there. I'm just doing that over here. So I'm just, so you can't see it, but I am just going to weigh 15 grams into each little container here. So I've got 15 grams. I'm going to do that 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And then I will weigh up a smaller amount. I've got a fair bit of working time with this because it doesn't set for a couple of days. So that's another one. I don't have to rush making all of these, which is good. And my grandchildren, they take off with, I think I'm just getting ahead with my stock, and I turn around and they've claimed other things. I love my grandkids. I just wish they'd bring some money with them. I suppose when they're little they don't have that, and I'd give it to them anyway, but it'd be nice if I had some customers with such enthusiasm. That'd be great. Anyway. See, that's doing it too. It's weighing all over the place. I don't know what's going on with these scales. Anyway, that'll do. All right, so they're for the 4 of these. Then I am going to pour, I think these take about 5 grams. So And the problem is I want each one to be a different colour. So what I'm going to do is just pour a little bit into each one of these. I'll put that up there so you can see. I'm not even going to measure it. I'll just pour a little bit like that. Hopefully that will be enough. That should be enough. What I will do to get this out of the way is I'll fill this. That's one less thing taking up space. And I will put that over here. I'll slide that out there. Now I've got it on paper towel so it does slide. They're all for, where's the other one? They're for the pocket hugs. I'm thinking that might be enough. And look, I'll pour a little bit more into here. Not sure. You'd think I'd get one and weigh it, which is probably the best thing to do. I'll be back in a second. Where are my stuff? I had them out before and now I put them away. I'll just get one. They do have magnets on the back, so that's going to throw it out a little bit as far as weight goes, but it'll give me an idea. So let me just wipe that down. Bring that back to 0. I'm just weighing this little cross. So with the magnet, it's 3 grams. I'm not going to need very much, so I'm just going to quickly pour some into here. And that's what I'm doing, guys. I know you can't see me, but I've got so much stuff here. I'm just pouring into these little containers. So I've got everything ready. I could have done this before, but I wanted to show you how much I'm spreading out to do today. Once I've got these sectioned off, then we're good to go. I might actually weigh this one just to see if I am, what was it, 3 grams, wasn't it? 3 grams, that'll give me an idea of how much visually it should be. Not sure I've got enough. Okay, so that's saying 4. Yeah, that's maybe a little bit more in this one. Maybe a little bit more in this one. And then this one here. I'm sorry if you can't see me, I just can't have the vision on everything. Yeah, and then this one here. I'm just pouring off 3 to 4 grams into these little containers. As I said, if you want to fast forward that, it's fine. That should be good. Now, I'll wipe that. I don't want it dripping everywhere. You do not want raw resin dripping everywhere. Now, for these bigger ones, I'm going to get the bigger cups. And I need 3 of those. So I'll put these out of the way here. I'll put 3 cups here. And I have about 230. I'm just going to put it in basically evenly. I can always make up more. Pour it off evenly. Because it was guesswork when I worked out how much I'd need. So I may need to make up more of this. because I'm scraping the sides really well, you do need to make sure you have scraped your sides and your bottoms when you're mixing your resin. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a whole lot of unmixed resin, and then your piece won't set at all. Try and clean up as I go. Good. Now we get to the colours. So what I'll do is, I think I will mix the pink first because this is at the back, and that way I can just slide these as they're done. I think you can see that. Can you see that? I'll bring this down, this down, this down, this down here. Good. So I'll mix that in. I really do hope this turns out to be glow in the dark. So it does say fluorescent. It does say fluorescent, so we'll see. Put that in. And mix that around. I might actually get a bigger stick, I think. It's a very pretty colour. I think this comes out a lot darker. Or is it the other one? My granddaughter took off it with a glow in the dark pocket hug, teddy pocket hug. And it was a lot darker than this. Even if it's not glow in the, it looks like it might be glow in the dark from the way it's reacting here. So I'm just going to put that one to one side for a minute. Put that there. You see? Good. Now, put the lid back on that so I don't have a huge mess. That's that one. Then we're doing blue for this one. The next one is hopefully a blue hamster. I'll put blue in here. Hang on. Sorry, don't want that in there. Our school finishes up in a couple of weeks' time, but they're having their graduation, and because these children do distance ed, they only don't see each other very often. That's why I'm doing these little gifts for next week. So that's the blue hamster. And then we're doing a colour that I've made up, and I hope it doesn't turn out horribly like a poo brown, but I did make it up. I think it'll be all right. I think it will be. So I'm going to pour that into a stick into here for the dog. And these were three glow-in-the-dark colours. I did the green with the pink, which was meant to be a red, but it was a pinky colour, and then added a bit of orange to get the brown, because green and red make a brown colour if you're painting. And then because it wasn't red, it was just like a pinky red, I added a bit of orange to it. Looks all right. Don't know whether I'm going to have enough of this one though. But I have got more of this already pre-mixed. So if I need to mix more of this one, I won't have a two-tone dog, which was good. Now, because this is mica powder, I'm letting it rest for a minute. Come back, give it a stir. Looks okay. You don't want any unmixed mica powder. Blue looks okay. Yep, that looks good. Because these are deep, I am going to spray them. Just wipe my hands first. I don't want any of that blue that's spattered everywhere on my gloves, because I'm going to put my fingers inside the moulds to whoosh around the alcohol ink. Sorry. Just get in there, because this one has little ears that go back like that. Little tail. So I'll put that there. You should be able to see that. I'm pouring this one. Pinch the cup. Pour it slowly. Come up to the ears and stop. Now, you don't want air bubbles in these ears, so just give them a little pinch. You don't want it here under the nose, so just not a hard pinch, because if you do that, you're going to suck in more air. Just be really gentle with it. Like that, and then give it a little tap, 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 tap. Fill it all the way to the top. Like that. It's going to be really pretty if it stays this colour as it sets. And that might be a little bit too full. I'll just take a little bit of that out. Not too much, just a little bit. That's better. And I'll set that aside because I can fill in other things, and I've got time enough to play with that a bit later. That's fine. Put that over there. I'll move these. Everything's being moved around. I'm working in a space that's about 2 feet by 2 feet, if that. So I'm just going to put that there. Next one I'm going to do is the hamster. So I'll bring that down so you can see the hamster. I'll spray inside. This is the first time I've used the hamster mould, so I don't know what it's going to turn out like. I think it looks like it's got a couple of little ears up the top, or they could be their eyes, not sure. Around here, don't want any bubbles in there. All right. Pinch, pour, stop. Tap, tap, tap. Not too hard, you'll knock your rabbit over. Give it a little pinch, because I'm not sure what those little indentations in there were. Doesn't look like there's any bubbles. I'll fill that up. And that, does that have that extra edge on it? Okay, so that took most of that, which was great. And I'll just give it a gentle, gentle, gentle tap. Slide that one over there. That was the blue. I'll put that colour next to that so I know. Then I'm pretty sure I will not have enough for the dog. So what I'm going to do is I will do, hang on a minute. I'll pour this first and see how much I'm short. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be short, because this is a much bigger dog than I usually do. That's the one my granddaughter wanted. I'll get that right in like that. And it's got the shape of the fur, so it's a little poodle, I think. Pour. Mate, are you in shot? Yes, you are. Pour. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. Wipe your hands. And again, I don't want anything under here in the nose or the little cheeks. Doesn't look like there's any bubbles in there, but just very, very gently, very, very, very gently. Tap, tap, tap. I may have enough. If I don't, it's just going to be short. Pour it up, pour it up, pour it up, pour it up. Yeah. That's okay. I may have enough left. What I will do is I'll take one of these, pour that in here. That should be enough. If not, it's going to be very close. That was for one of the pocket hugs. I'll pour a little bit more of this in here. Now I will let this sit for a minute because I want to see if it's going to mix properly. I scraped this because I did have some dry mica powder on my stick and I don't want that going into it afterwards, so I'll let that sit. I'll mix up the colours for the pocket hugs and see how I go with those. I've still got enough for 3. I don't want, see how you've got to be careful? I don't want that in there. So I'll get that out. I have to. Let me think. Where's this? Probably wouldn't make any difference. But I just the tiniest bit. Look, I'll just mix it in. It'll be fine. It will be fine. Right, so with the pocket hugs, I am going to do, get smaller sticks for these ones, because they're only the little cups. I'm going to do a pink. This is the colour pink that my granddaughter took off with. It's really fluoro. Such a pretty colour. Now these should fit. There should be enough in each of these little ones because I did weigh out the amount that I put into the cups. So that's one. Is that enough in there? Transparent, but I think it'll be okay once I think it'll be deep enough. Then we're doing a green. I'll just open it here. I don't want it to get into the other stuff. So I'll do a green into this one. And these are from Temu, and they're like a salt and pepper shaker. You can put the spoon in here, or you can shake it out from this side. I just like to take the top off when I've got so many things around. Just stir that. Now, because they're fluoro, they're not as fine as some mica powders. They can be a little bit more gritty, but you still got to give it a really good stir. And you need to scrape the sides. Set that down there. And the other one is this fluoro yellow. It's like chess. Take the lid off these, they do fly everywhere. Just wipe that up so I don't get it too far. Put this one in here. back on there so I don't have a fluoro, multicoloured fluoro car, because the car's just over there. Would not go down well with my husband. So I'll give these one more little, make sure that they're mixed. And this one. You can see on this side, I'll just stand up to show you. You can see, I think, on the side where it's still a bit gritty, and on the stick where it's still a bit gritty. Because they're fluoros, I think that they're the little particles in there that make it shine in the dark. They're all like this. When I was making a pigment paste out of one of the fluoros, this colour actually, I had all sorts of trouble with the mortar and pestle getting it ground down. And then I heard one of the other YouTube ladies saying that if it's glow in the dark, the particles are a bit coarser and they won't dissolve so readily. All right, so spray, rub it with your finger, make sure it gets right in. Oops. And squeeze, pour, stop, squeeze it gently, good. And just wipe this up now so it's easier than doing it later. Wipe that down. I think I probably have some of this over. I did pour 13 or 14 grams and each one weighs about 15. Whoops, there we go. That's enough. I could pour that in, but I don't want it to overflow. So that's that one. I'll put that there. The next one is my spray. Stop. Squeeze gently, squeeze gently. And stop. Clean that up there. Wipe that off. Move that there. Third one that's got the blue spatter all over it. Just one little bit inside, that's fine. But I will shake that off and turn it upside down. Put that there. This will be the green. Again, get it right in. And stop. Squeeze so gently. This one's a little bit different. This one's actually got a little jacket on, or a jumper. Three of them are the same and one is slightly different. Tap, 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 tap. And fill that up. That's good. That's those three out. Now, I may get enough out of here to fill some of these crosses, in which case I'll have enough here. I'll put this one, remember I put this aside to let it see. Now what I'm going to do is bring this back down, pour the rest of this in, see if I need more still, which I think probably I do, because I haven't poured this one, maybe once. I don't know whether I have actually, but there was no way that I could really know how much it was going to hold. So I'll put that there, I'll put that there. What I'm going to do is move that out of the way, bring these up and work with the crosses. Now, I want to make these glow in the dark. Not one, I want to make one a little necklace. But I want to make these glow in the dark because if somebody drops their keys in the dark, hopefully they'll shine. So just a little squirt in each one. Let's see if I have enough of this to just pour it in. And it doesn't have to be filled all the way up. Oh, look at that. Oh, I've got a little bit more. That will dome it. Oh, yes. Look at that. Used it all up. So I'll put that one over here. What have I got there? I've got pink and I've got blue. Yellow. Green. Let's see what we've got here. Oops. Now, this should be able to dome as well. And I've got the littlest bit left, so that's okay. I'll put that here. I've got stuff everywhere. Definitely will have enough yellow. Oops, a daisy, a bit of glitter in that. And domed. Maybe just a tad more. Just so it's easier. And I think I'll come back and put just a little bit more in here. Not too much though, or it will overflow. So they're now domed. What else have I got? I was going to do, I've got all this resin here. I want to do one in a pretty pink. Have I got some pink left? Oh, I do. Put that one in here. This one I'm going to bling up for this little girl. Make it into a pretty necklace for her. That's just too much. I will get some paper towel. That will overflow. Just a little bit too much. If you've got too much, get a paper towel. Just lie it on, bring it straight up. That should be good now. There's that one. This one I thought I'd do glow in the dark. What will I do? What will I do? Glow in the dark purple. Let's do glow in the dark purple. What have I got? I've got green. First of all, I want to fill this up. So what I'm going to do, now that I've got that done, I will get a clean scraper. Scrape that in here. This is just clear resin that I had put aside for the little necklace cross that I've just done. So I won't need that. And I've only need 3 lots for the crosses. I may not get the shaker turtle done. So that's that. Let me see, what have I got in there? Would that be enough? No, I'll need another one. This here. Scrape out as much as I can. I just find doing this, guys, is so relaxing. I started it off because I was trying to find something for my mum to do, take an interest. And it wasn't for her to do resin, but it was for her to put her skills of cake decorating onto a YouTube channel, because she's 98, still living at home. She's been on her own for the last 7 years. My dad passed away when he was 93, and she's now 98. And 2 years ago she was complaining about being bored, and I said, well, look, you've got the talent, it's easy to do. And I started looking up people doing different things on YouTube, and I found one of Julie Cutz's from Pouring Your Heart Out, one of her videos. Came back and said to my husband, I just want to give it a little go. I'm only going to do, you resiners will know what I'm talking about, I'm only going to give it one go. And it was 2 years ago, and I've just been going since. Now this one I'm pouring into the dog just to fill it up. This will be definitely enough, and there it is. I've got a little bit left. Probably get that in there, just a little bit more, because I don't want too many sharp edges. Right, that'll do that. Put that to one side. It may overflow. I'll have to watch that one. I have got resins and colours everywhere here. I'm thinking that one might need a little bit of cardboard under it, so I'm just going to grab some from here, just to put it under this edge. I think last time this might have been a little bit, you see, and that's what happens. You try and lift these things up. I think this happened to this one last time. Not all moulds are level. My table is level. Now I'm going to use that to top it up again, because I just spilled some out, so that's a blessing. And I'll clean that mess up when it's dry. So that's perfect. Stay. It's not moving. Good. Okay. So I've done that. I've done 3 of those. I've finished the animals. I've done 4 of the crosses. I have 3 lots. Oh, I've got 4 lots here left, but not enough to do the sinker turtle. Have I got enough blue? No. I might just have to give that shaker turtle a bit of a miss. So what I'm going to do here, well, that won't be anywhere. That'll be way too much. Way too much. So what I might do is pour those in here. Just scrape that off. And I'll divide those 2 into the 3 that I've got left, and see where I stand now, because that in there might be enough for the shaker turtle. So let me have a look. If I divide that a little bit here, and a little bit here, and I leave this clear. If I don't have enough in these 3, I can top it up with this. How's that? That sounds like a plan. So, what am I going to do? I've got a pink, I've got a green. I think I'll do a purple. A little purple. Now I need a tiny stick. These are not tiny, but it'll do. And I'm going to bring it down here, guys. You won't see it, but I don't want it splashing everywhere. So that's what I'm doing. Just mixing a little purple. Scrape the stick, scrape the side. These are little silicone pouring for small, really small amounts. But I don't really like mixing in them because they're silicone, they're soft and they move. Okay, let's see. Well, let that sit for a little minute. Wipe my stick. That lid on. So it's a purple. Done a yellow. I'll do an orange. Bring it down here so it doesn't splash, and then I'll bring it back up. Just mix that in there carefully. See how it's a little bit harder to mix when it's fluoro. Just got to be patient to get it all mixed in. So bring it around, scrape, definitely scrape your sides. Make sure you do. Oops, and don't shake the table like that. That tall rabbit, I might have to put something either side of that to keep it steady. Okay, so that's that. That'll look pretty. And then, what else have I got? There's a dark purple. I might do, that was that one. Is that dark? I might do, that's a citrine, that's a different yellow. So I'll do that one. That other one was lemon. This is citrine. This has got more green in it. Usual thing, all the things will be linked that I can find links for. I've been pretty good with my, pretty blessed with my links so far. There's some that I can't link. It may be a mould that my mother used in cake decorating because she gave it up quite a few years ago. I went through her cupboard and brought back any moulds that I thought I could use in resin. So those I won't be able to link. But if I can find the link, it will be in the description. And as with my eBay store that I'm still putting things up on. So please check that out, especially coming up for Christmas. There's some pretty things on there, and I've only just started uploading everything. All right, so first one. Good thing about these is you can squeeze them. Bad thing is they're very hard to mix in. So just pouring this. Let it settle for a minute. And that was plenty actually. Pouring this one. Plenty. Pouring this one. There you go. Make sure it's full but not overflowing. Now, I've got some more of those little crosses. Where did I put them? There they are. I might make some more because, oh, you know what I'll do? I might mix these three colours into the shaker turtle. That's what I'll do. It might turn out horrible, but we'll try. It's an experiment. So don't put the purple and the yellow together. They are opposites in colour. The purple will dull the yellow will dull the purple, muddy it as it's called. So put this colour in between. You could even throw a pink in there. I've got some of that. Now the yellow. Then I think I will come in with a little bit of pink I've got. Go rainbow shaker turtle. Okay, so that can go there, that can go in the bin. Now I'll come back with some more purple. Some more orange. This might be a total disaster, or it might be really pretty. Yellow. I might have enough green as well. Put a little bit of green in there. Like that. What else do I have? That's not fluoro, so I don't want to use that. I might have to though. Just to fill it up at the end there. Orange next. It'll be very close. Very, very close actually. That there. Okay, so there's that. That's not a shake, that's not a fluoro, but this is, and I might just need this last little bit here. I'm recording. And that is very close to being full enough. Can I squeeze anything else out? Might be just enough there. Yeah. Just enough there. What have I got here? Ooh. Hang on. Put this around here. Just up here. That'll be that. So that is a multicolored shaker turtle. That is enough, hopefully, to, ooh, would that be enough? Yeah, I do. I think my granddaughter's going to get her purple fluoro. She wants the dark one. Purple fluoro pocket hug, so it shines in the dark. So I'll wipe, never put a wet stick into powder. What I'll do is I'll wipe that. I'll wipe this. Oh, don't do that, don't do that. There. I'll wipe that off. Then I'll put that in here. I'm just putting the purple here. And then I'll show you. get rid of that. You don't want anything hanging out of your hands when you're doing this. I've made all of those mistakes. That's full. That's full. That's full. Those are full enough. That's full. I've done those. Get rid of that. Right, I'll spray this last pocket hug. Get rid of that little bit there. Go right in. Bring this over here. Pour it. Stop. Squeeze. Squeeze. Now you can see the bubble coming up there. Squeeze gently. When it's the gentle part you have to do is when you're letting it out. If you go like that, you're going to bring air into it. So gently, very gently. See? Okay. Little tap and keep pouring. This will be enough. Look at that. Yes. Now, if you're going to take this length of time to fluff around with quite a few different molds, make sure the resin you're using is not going to set up. I knew I didn't have to worry because it takes 2 days for it to set up. I have plenty of time. Right, that can be thrown out. That can be there. The dog is there. Rabbit is there. I will wash my hands with alcohol. I still have a little bit of yellow, pink and blue. I might be able to do some more little crosses, but what has happened here? Oh, I hope that's still recording. It looks like it's still, I'm going to be so upset. That's all right. I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching and find out what's going on with this phone, which has gone really weird. Is it low power mode? Back again. Everything has been demolded and the edges have been taken off because these are for children, so I don't want anyone getting cut. This colour, if you remember, I made this because I wanted a brown colour, but these are in fluoro. Now I'm not sure if they're going to shine in the dark. I'll have to test them, put them out in the daylight for a while today. But I made this colour by putting this colour, which are calling fluoro red, which is really a pink, with green, because red and green will make brown. And because it was a bit light, I added a little bit of the orange. And that came out with this colour, which translated into the resin into this really pretty goldeny sort of brown colour. I'm very happy with that. Then my granddaughter decided she would pick, well, I asked her to pick all the little things that the characters would have. So we've done that. And I'm going to glue and finish off the characters, paint them up and so forth today. This I made for my little granddaughter yesterday. And I made this for one of her friends as a little necklace. So that's those two finished. Plus I had some of the black left and I made the double-winged butterfly out of it and I made it into a brooch on the back. The little turtle, which looked quite reasonable on the back, looks a bit ordinary on the front, but it's a shaker turtle, so I put things in there and stuck the lid on. This patching bit here they're the fluoro specks. Remember I was saying that fluoro mica doesn't grind down as much as normal mica. Well, that's what was left. So when it was put in first, that's what came out. It's fine. It's fine. So what I'm going to do now is sit down and show you how I finish things off. What I did yesterday, I want to make these into key rings or purse charms. I stuck on the back each one the little bezel, the clear bezel, so that now can have an O-ring put through there. So I'll do those first. And I have these larger O-rings. These ones, which can be used if you want to go through the thickness. That would go through quite easily, but because I've stuck this bail on the back, I'm going to go to the regular size smaller ones. Now these you can just get from Temu. They're really good if you don't want to if you haven't got these little invisible bails. You can drill straight through, or you can either go straight through this way or straight through this way. I really hope I am not videoing upside down like I did the other day. The whole thing was upside down. I'm still learning with this boom arm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose this size. And that's big enough to put through each one of these. So you just separate them. They're fairly easy. Separate. Feed it through. Push it back. Now I've got 2 of these. And you just line it up, because if you don't line it up, it's going to keep, all the stuff you put on it is going to keep coming off. So that's there. I will do one of these and then I'll do the others off camera so I can move on to these as well. So with that one, I now have to, and I forgot to get these out, put on my keychains. The ones I've got are either this antique brownie colour, the gold, the rose gold, the yellow gold, and somewhere down here I have some silver. I use the silver more than I don't, so I probably don't have too many of the silver left. I'm going to have to go to more the gold. I am putting the silver charms on, that's the only thing. Maybe I'll go to the darker colour. I'm hoping these will glow in the dark, so if people lose their keys, at least they can see them glowing in the dark. I will do some with the silver. I'll do some with the silver, but they're the only ones I've got left. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Oh, I might have enough. 6, 7, 8. I do. How about that? I like to match things up, so I will use the silver ones to finish those off. And again, these are just from Temu. So I'll put all those links in the description. So now you've got this O-ring. You can put this straight onto that O-ring if you like, which is probably what I'll do, or you could put another O-ring if you wanted to make it a bit longer. I'm just going to open this back up, and I should have done it before. I'm going to open it back up like that, feed it through this last one, close it back up, and you can see, you can do this with your fingers, but if you like to protect your nails, do it with a pair of pliers. Just make sure that that is lined up properly, like that. Now, that's the basis. What I'm going to do now is pick a smaller O-ring, so not too small. Let me see. This is the one I just used. I'm going to go to this one. Not that one, that's the one that I fed through the bail. This one. I'm going to go to the next size down. And again, these are from Temu, and you can get gold and silver. And you get this thing, if you haven't got pliers, you get this thing, you just put that on your finger, and then it lodges the O-ring in here, and you can open it up. I don't particularly like using that, I prefer the pliers. I'm just going to open this. Yeah. Now, position this, work out what charms you're putting on. Don't load them all down one. You can put one down the bottom. While it's open, feed the charm through it, and then close it back up. And that's that there. And just make sure, as I said, that that opening is closed properly. Now you've got one charm. I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I've also put aside these, so I'm thinking that's a smaller one of the charms. I might put on the butterfly. So now I'm going to go back to that second size in the silver. And that might be the big one. Is that the big one? Some of them are very close in size. That's smaller than that, a bit bigger than that, but I'll use this one because this is a bigger charm. Some of these come separated like this already, which is great. Some of them you have to separate. Now, because I've got this one down towards the cross itself, I'm going to put the butterfly further up the top. Just put it in like that, put it in like that, and straighten it up and put it together. Now, if you're happy with that, that's fine, but you can add a tassel. Now, something to go with the green. Sorry, well, it's sort of a limey green. You could do that, not that. You could go to a pink if you wanted to, a lighter pink. I think I'll go with that one. And again, smaller O-ring, separate it through here. And this one can go up further up to the top and back. Now, you've got the basis for a key ring or a purse charm if you want. I also have these things. Where are they? These and these. I have these smaller hooks where if you wanted to hook it onto something, you could do that. Or I've got these antique ones, or antique looking ones, that are much bigger. So you could put something like that right up the top, so they can either put their keys on here, they put the keys here, and then they can hook this somewhere. They might like to, rather than hook this through the handbag, if they want to hook this onto the handbag, they can do that there. I would put this up the top with this little tassel. So I'm going to open that up again. And I may not do this on all of them, but for this one I might. Just open it, feed it through, close it up. This will be much easier if I use this. Like that. And then you've got this where the keys are on here. You've got this one here. It's like the lobster claw. And you've got your key charm, key ring, key chain, whatever it's called. So that's one. I'll do these off camera. there for over there for later. So you've seen me do one. I don't want to hold you up while I do more. Just close those so I don't end up with them everywhere. And close that. And I'll put all of these over here. Now the next thing is the purple pocket hug with its own little pocket hug. So each of the pocket hugs I make, I give the pocket hug a pocket hug. Now let me see, the little brown bear. What colour did she say she wanted it? I think she wanted pink. I might just touch this around here. So it just looks like it's got a little bit of a jumper. That's a little bit different. You don't have to do this with these. This one's for my granddaughter. Down there. Down there. Just a little bit of a difference. Now, with the eyes, I'll make it black. The little nose. These cover it pretty well. Again, these are from Temu. And he does have a cute mouth. Now these have a nice sharp point on them. It's a paintbrush of a sorts. Just a little line down here, very lightly, don't press hard because it'll be too thick. And that's his mouth. And then for the inside of his ears, I think I will go to, I might go to this sort of browny colour, or pink, it's pink when you take the top off, and just do the inside here. And then do the inside here. And for this one you can press a little bit. So, there. And I don't make these too complicated because they're ones for the children just to hold. One of my granddaughters is collecting them. She saw the purple one yesterday and she wanted that, but this one's for her sister. So now I'm just going to glue these little unicorns, which are little charms from Temu, and I'm going to glue that here so that he's holding his own pocket hug. And this E8000 is really, really good. So don't be stingy with it, because the bear's shape and the unicorn shape means that it needs to have a little bit of glue behind it, otherwise it won't stick. So push it down and then go behind it and see where it needs a little bit more glue to secure it, because you don't want this coming off. Get my scribe, just push that up into there like that, and it will dry clear, so that's fine. And then when you've got that secure, that's the little bear. Very simple, kids love them. I'm going to lay him on his back so that the unicorn, and I'm going to put him back here where you can't see him, but I'm just going to put him like that so the unicorn can dry. Otherwise the E8000, even though it's fantastic glue, what you're sticking will slide until it sets. So you lay it flat. So I'm just going to put him here, out of the way. And move these two over to the present pile. Put that there. Now, with the rabbit, this rabbit has stitching or stitching lines, and I tend to, because it's meant to be a stuffed toy, I think, so I tend to go over those little lines, and I think I'll do silver. And I'll do silver with this pen. Where is it? That's gold. That's silver. I think I'll do it with this one, simply because it has a very fine point. So I'm going to go down on those little red spots from the glow mica that hasn't dissolved, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how to fix that. I'm just going to go down like this, being very careful only to go where that stitching line is, like this. Oh, and put the lid on your glue, otherwise that happens. So I will wipe that, put the lid on. Right, otherwise it still oozes out. So I'm going to just go down. Like this. And if it doesn't look any good, I'll take it off, but you've got to be pretty quick if you're going to take it off. It's down here, and it looks like, if you get, the reason I like doing this is it looks like stitching if you go over it. Steady hand, not like mine. Not like mine. This always needs to be primed, and I don't know why. There it goes. So, just clean this up a little bit so it doesn't look so bad. Yeah. Okay. Where else has it got stitching? Ah, yes, down the back. And be careful you don't do what I just did and put your hand on it. So this one, it's in under the head there. I'll just turn it this way so I can get to it. And then straight down the back. And I'm barely touching it. Alright, so it just adds a little bit of stitching marking to it. Now, with the eyes, I want to paint it white. And this is a permanent one. Is that coming out? I'll pick one that's coming out already. I've got quite white. What's this one? I've got quite a few of these. Ah, that's a good one. I'll paint this white first. Might need a couple of layers. that settle. Keep your hands off the silver. Oh, see, if I wanted to, I could do silver around here too. This looks like there's stitching marking there. I've never seen that there before. Just around there. And just let that dry. And then I'm going to get, I think I'm going to go with these ones. These ones work a little bit better. Same brand, they just seem to work a bit better. These acrylic brush markers. Now they are the same brand, different seller, and they look different inside. So these ones came from the bigger box. These ones are from this smaller box, and yet they're the same, supposed to be the same thing. They do look different. I am going to go for, I think I'm going to have to go for a darker pink inside. Yeah. Is it dried out? I will not be pleased if they have. Okay. Let's see. We'll go to this. I'll go to this. Yeah, that's better. I just want to give it the inside just a little bit of a colour. Now, that's a wet, this is the dry end. I'm just going to spread this out a little bit. I just want to give it a hint of colour. And because this is such a bright pink, I don't want it to be too strong. So you can just see that little bit of colour there. And I'll do the same over here. Just bring it in and feather it out. Make sure you pick the dry end, otherwise the alcohol will take it off. And then just feather it out like that. All right, okay, so that's that. I'm waiting for the eyes to dry. They're not quite dry yet. Now I will put toenails on this one, and I might go red. Oh, actually she's wearing a pink hat, so I don't want that clashing. I might go this blue, just as something a bit different, while we're waiting for the eyes to dry. And all it has to do is just be a little tap like that, just a little tap. I don't know how many paws they've got. I had a rabbit as a child, but because we lived in a different state. But just the front ones I'll do. Now, the gluing part. My granddaughter decided that she wanted her friend to have a little glitter bow, a bigger butterfly, glass butterfly, a phone, a fan, and a hat. So we're going to glue those things on now. I will start with this little butterfly. She wanted it up here. And that just goes there. So that's that. There. And then I'll just let the toenails dry for a little minute. On the back, we decided, she wanted the butterfly around the side, but I said, well, if we put the butterfly here, it sort of looks like her tail is all dressed up. So we're going to put that there. And you can see I've dosed that up a little bit because this is a bit heavier. And does it have an up and down? No. I'm just going to put that there. And then I'm going to let those sit. So the eyes are drying, the toenails are drying, and the two bows are drying. And I don't want to keep working on that until they are set up, because I have to then lay it on its back to let those two set. And that's not going to work because this will fall off. So I'm just going to put that rabbit over here. Hopefully nothing will slide. I'll put that there. Then I'm going to work on the hamster. Glue back in here. Now I don't know what colour the hamster's eyes are, but I'm going to colour the little ears. He is so cute. I'm going to colour the little ears. See, they're not as dark. I want to go to these ones. I've got a bigger set as well. But, I might go to this. Actually, it might come out a bit better. Yeah. Just a little bit of colour. Like that. His eyes again will start with white. You can have fun with these. You can put false eyelashes on them. I'm not very good. I've never worn false eyelashes, and therefore, false eyelashes. Therefore, I'm not very good at putting them on animals. So I did buy some, but they were the wrong sort. I just there, and turn him over here. I wasn't sure how this little hamster was going to turn out, but he's really cute. Let's get that away from there. Clean it up a bit. Now, I'll do this a couple of times as well, and then I'll come back and put the black in. Maybe a bit of colour. Now what she's decided for this little chap is he's going to have a phone. He's going to have a Game Boy thing, and he's going to have a lollipop. So the lollipop is going to sit here. That's what he's going to be eating. Oh, before we do that, I have to colour his nose. And I'm assuming these animals, all their noses are black, but that's what I'm doing. You can do it whatever colour you like. I'm just going to paint down here. And I hope you can see. I hope this is not going to be another video that I can't put up. Oh, I cannot believe it. I did a whole video the other day and it was upside down. So I have to redo it. And then I did a whole video where I thought I was actually recording, and I was recording a conversation I was having with family members. And when I thought that I had pressed the stop, the go button, I'd actually pressed the stop button. So when I made the video, I wasn't recording at all. So that's another one I have to do again. Yeah, now he looks a bit weird because he's got white eyes and no black in them, but we'll fix that. So here, and I won't do his nails because he's a boy. I'll put the glue here and glue these here like he's eating it. The only thing about this E6000 or E8000 is it does string. I'm going to put that there. And then he can just have the Game Boy on one foot and the phone on the other. So here the phone's bigger, so it's going to stick to his cheek and his foot. So I'll put some glue here and some glue here and glue that down like that. Like that. And then well actually, no, I can put that in. I'm going to put that there. Maybe just lay it flat. Like that. He's not getting a hat. The rabbit's getting a hat, the dog's getting a hat, but he's just too short that way. He's too stout. So I'm going to put him there. Let me see. I'm going to put him leaning against that mold, so he's on an angle. That's him done. Now for the dog, my granddaughter wanted the dog to have a moustache, a hat, a drink, and some popcorn. But before we do that, I'll put the lid back on this because it is going everywhere. Just putting that lid in. I'll do the eyes so they can dry. I'm really pleased with this colour. It's a very pretty colour. I've got to test to see if they will glow in the dark. Because this is a rougher mould than this is like a matte. The hamster's a matte mould. The bunny rabbit, I think, was more of a shiny mould. And so therefore the white is going on to the hamster and the dog a bit better. It may not need as many coats because it's got something to stick to. So that's that. And then I'll do, where's the black? There. I'll do his black nose. Isn't that cute? This is a really pretty little dog. And it's quite detailed in its texture too. Into the nostril. Around there like that. Into that little nostril there. Down here very carefully for the mouth, not too big. Under there for the jaw. Yeah, okay. So now, she wants him to have that stuck there. I should just let that dry a bit. So what I might do is I'll glue on the popcorn and the coat, popcorn and the drink, and they can go here. I'll just put that there like that. See, because they're different shapes, you've basically got to hold it until it starts to take. And fill in the back a bit. Get this in around the back here without stabbing yourself. And all the strings that go with it. Now, it's still moving, and it will be for a while. rid of those strings. They can always be pulled off later. I'm not going to try and put the popcorn on yet because it's going to have to go the other way. So I'm going to have to let this lie still, and I'll put that on top of. It's a bit tall. Put that on top of a, oh, this one might do. Just a little mould. Just so it's flat, or flat-ish, so it'll set. And then you need to keep your hands playing with this stuff. Otherwise you'll have sticky prints everywhere. That, I'll just wipe that off with the wet one. So that has to be stuck on. The moustache has to be stuck on, and that has to be stuck on. So what I'll do now is I'll wipe that, put that out away because that's dangerous. And these two have little jumpers and a heart. The other ones don't. So now I'm going to get a colour and colour their jumpers in. I don't know what colour to do. Colour. What colour? Just taking all the colours out to have a look. They do have the colours on the back of the box, but I just like to have a look. I might do this blue on the yellow. I don't want to colour too much because it is the glow in the dark. I'll leave the heart yellow and I'll colour the jumper yellow. And I'm not going to colour it all in. It can be textured, it can be seen to be textured. You can colour it all in if you like. If it does, it does. Do around here. That's the sleeve. It goes all the way around the back. It's a lovely little pocket mould. But if you wanted to leave it like that, you could. If you want to colour it right in, you can. It's up to you. It does have a little collar around here and around the front. Just because it's so textured and bumpy, gotta be careful. And just get it in there without getting it. And see, he's got this here. That's the edge of it, like that. And then along here, and just down like that. You can do it, as I said, you can do it full on like that, or you can leave it like this. It doesn't really matter. Just have fun with it. And honestly, I don't think the kids care. They like the fact that they've got a little bear to hold or collect, like my grandchildren. Something that their nan's made for them. I'm not going to be too fussed about colouring the whole thing in. I like to see part of the colour underneath coming through. Although I can't have one side with the yellow showing and the other side all blue, so I might have to do this a little bit more coloured in. Like that. Then I don't want the heart coloured in. I just want to go around the heart. And that way it can still glow. And you've got to just be careful with this one because you go down between the feet, because that's where the jumper goes. You've got to be careful if you don't want to colour the heart. You just got to make sure that you're not hitting it accidentally. And there, and there, and there. looks silly if I don't colour all this in. I don't want that. Blue jumper. Okay, so that's that. Where's the lid for that one? There. I will just clean off that little bit here. I think it's more from the top. Just that edge. Just that edge. So I'm using 100% alcohol, and I get it from the Gold Coast in Australia. And they deliver, and it's, I don't think it's expensive from them. It's more expensive if you've got to go to Bunnings, which is our big warehouse, big whole hardware house that we have here in Australia. Okay, so now bears have black, little black eyes, little black nose. Now, I did the purple eyes black because purple was dark. I will probably do these eyes a different colour, but the nose should be black because I'm pretty sure bears have black noses. I haven't been too close to a bear, and I'm pretty sure, and I wouldn't like to be too close to a bear. And then just very, very light touch going down and down. And because of the texture around the face, it's very hard to get a clean line. You've got to sort of put it in and then wipe off the excess just with a wet wipe. Like that. And I might do, I might do this really pretty blue for the eyes. And these eyes have a little ridge around them, so it's a bit hard just to get the eyeball painted without painting around the little edge. So you just do the best you can. Inside the ears. Oh, look at that. No. And then here. That paint was running out a bit, and this is acrylic paint that they use to fill these. And then I'm going to glue his little pocket hug, and I'll just put that there. Got a little pocket hug there. They all have their own pocket hugs. Pocket hug with a pocket hug. And in underneath, so it's got a bit of glue to sit on. And under here. And then that's him. Well, I just think they're really cute. So I'll put him on his back. He can dry. Glue back on because it's coming out. And do that. Find the lid for the black. Make sure my hands are clean. I don't want to transfer any colour. Wipe that off. Come back and do the second coat of white for the eyes here. still a bit wet in the middle where it was a bit thicker with the paint. That's a bit better. And then here. Now these pens that I'm using now, you can get them in blue, red, green, black and white. And they're really good for getting to the smaller areas. There's that. Now I might, oh, she's going to have a hat, so I won't put a butterfly there. What was I thinking just then? Oh, her nose. I have to do her nose. So, I know that Rabbit's, I'm going to give her maybe more of a brown nose, I think. Let me see what her inside is. I might do a brown nose. I just think black would be too hard. And just the littlest hint of a mouth. Littlest hint. And then put that lid back on. And wipe off the excess. Down here. So just want the hint. And where's that? Where is that? I just had it. Oh, I'll get another one. I was looking for one of these. So, what I'll do is I'll just take that around there. You see? I'm probably just wiping that. What I'll do, just get that in there. No, do this. Just spread that out a bit with this fine tip. That's better. Okay, so that's good. Now, I still can't do the rest of the eyes, but while we're waiting, I can glue the phone on. You don't have to glue the phone on here, I think, so that I can fit the fan on this side. So I'm going to glue the phone touching her leg. Oh, where was that? There, straight down there. Just let that sit like that. And I'm going to lay it back down on its side now and just let it sit. I do want it just up an angle a little bit. Oh, blast. So you've got to be careful where you put your fingers. I just, is that they call it? I just took some of her nose off. Is that this colour? No, but it'll do for the point. All right, that's that. They're drying. I've done 2 of those, they're drying. So what am I going to do? That's for the little one there. That's for the dog. I'm thinking his eyes are dark enough. So I'm going to make his eyes this dark blue and just just put a little bit of colour. In his eyes. I have to have steady hands like I used to. And then like that. Then that's got to dry. Everything, when you're doing these characters, it's step by step. You've got to move on and go back because everything's drying. So with this one, what am I going to do? What colour jumper? What do you think? Green, no. Blue, no. Blue, no. Yellow, no. I might do white. I might just do a little white jumper. Because that pink is really pretty. And I will do it sort of in the stripes this time. Let's get around the heart there. So as I said before, these are all glow in the dark. I'd like that little heart to glow. And just come down here like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. If you don't want to get into the grooves, just lay your pen on its side. Like that. Just like that. And then it can look like it's a striped jumper. Here. Turn this around here. Finish the collar there. Around here. Good, that's that done. And I think I might do green eyes on this little one. Oh. Green eyes. Back to the green here. Just there and there. And I might do, I'll do this pinky colour in the ears. The ears already have a bit of pink going on in there, but I'll just do a little bit here and here. Like that. A black nose. Cute little nose. And just a very light touch going down and around and around. Come back and take off the excess. Back in if you've taken off too much. This is so textured. That little mouth actually goes up like that. You can see it's hitting the outside of the mouth. Oh, actually it's this way. You can see it's hitting the outside of the mouth. But you've got to get the black in the mouth. without making it look too heavy, and then you've got to come back and just take off the extra. So it doesn't look like it's been hit in the face with something. Right, that's better. Now, I might just do a little black dot for the eyes, just a little black dot there, and a little black dot there. Like that. Oh, I keep forgetting you're facing me. And then this one will have this there. Have that one there. It's holding its little pocket hug. And just squeeze it down there. Hopefully, where's my scribe? Just push that glue down in underneath there like that. Wipe that scribe off. And lay that down. He's cutie. And then you can come back later and take all these strings off. They just lift off. So that's that one. The last one is the little green one. I might do this sort of mustardy colour, just a touch around here, so it looks like he's got something happening. Not too much though. Like that. Like that. Pink, darker pink for the ears. Darker pink here for the ears. Get this thing, oh that's where the other one is. Get this thing and just feather it out a bit. And feather this out a little bit. Wipe off that little bit of extra there. Yep. Black nose. Got coloured pens everywhere. Black nose, black, 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 black. There it is. Black. His mouth. Then his eyes. Oh, what colour? Without looking too creepy. What do you think? What will we do? I might go light green eyes. Might go light green eyes, I think. If I go any other colour, I think it's going to look really creepy. Some of these have more paint in their brush tips than others, and so it floods. Like that. There's a lid for that one. There. So what I'll do is I'll just blot the excess out for that. And then blot that. Like that. And he actually looks like he's got a bit of black in the middle anyway. I'll just touch that there. And we'll go back and fix the eyes up on the other little teddies. Like that. And then put his put his little pocket hug there, I think. They all go in the same place. You've got to put them where they will actually fit. And that's him. These are quick and easy, but the kids love them. Oops, and you don't want him rolling. So I'm going to just set him. I might set him next to her. Not that they have gender. Now let's go back and have a quick look here. Now if this is getting too long for you, I don't know how long it's going. If it's getting too long for you, feel free to fast forward. I'm going back here now. This should be starting to set. And I'm going to put some colour in the eye. But what colour? Oops, be careful you don't move the back thing. Maybe this colour. This looks pretty. Because these are big eyes. So you don't want them all white with a touch of black. I'm just going to paint down here like it's an eye, like that. And then paint down here like that. And then look to see that she's basically the same. You don't want the eyes to be different too much. I mean, you probably won't get them exactly the same, but you want them a little bit the same. Now that's got to dry so I can put a black spot and a white spot on it. But while that is finishing off, I will put the fan on this side. If that phone is dry and that butterfly is dry, I will put that there. I'm going to have to do this. Put this here. Basically just lay it there like that. Pretty little fans these are. Again, got them from Temu and I will link it. So I'm going to, oops, there's a lot stuck on this one. You can do more with little girl characters. Okay, just let me see. There's not a lot of places to stick this because it's lacy as it is and it's curve on straight. So let me just see if I can put that in here. Right. I'm going to have to put that. That's still drying. I'll put that, oh, there. Maybe there. Ooh, maybe not there. So you've got to be careful all through because that's moved. And that's nearly drying now. And this one at the back has moved. So you've got to make sure they're not sliding like that. You've got to make sure that they can sit. Now, where am I going to balance this? I might move the hamster and put her there. I might put her hat just there, so she's off the phone. She's off the phone. Come on. No, I need something so I can, something small. Ah, that'll do. Put that there so she doesn't roll. Everything should stay there now, hopefully. Hamster is looking good. I think the hamster is finished except for his eyes. The colour of his eyes, 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 eyes. Let me think. What might do? I might do the screen. I don't know what colour hamster's eyes are. But hamsters aren't blue, are they? So, does it matter? No. It's going to be a bit hard to get this down here. Didn't think about that, did you, woman? No, you didn't. That'll do. So he's just drying away there. I'll probably set him up now. Not much more to do to him. This one, that's looking like it's just moved a little bit. I'm going to put the popcorn on this side. So I'll just put that popcorn up there and then sit this on his back perhaps. Yeah, just put some in here behind, and then just lay him as flat as I can while that starts to set. Hopefully that's good. They're done. The hat's just got to go on there, but I can't do that yet. Hamster's just about done. I've got to put a white dot in his eyes. The pocket hugs are done. And the dog has his moustache. In fact, I might put the moustache on now because he's on his back. I'll just put the moustache here. When my granddaughter asked for a moustache, I went, oh, I don't know. And then I put it there and went, oh, she's so right. She is so right. It looks cute. So cute with the moustache. All right, so rather than hold you up anymore while things are drying, I will finish the rest off camera and come back and show you the results. Thanks, see you later. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm recording this last part again because the phone dropped out of the holder. And then I realised I was recording it in the wrong portrait. I was doing, oh, doesn't matter. This is the little turtle that I did for my granddaughter, and it's got the pink leatherette chain band. Oh, I'm tired. And the little cross for her friend with the diamantes, and she's got a black leatherette cord. The little dog with the mo, popcorn and drink, and his hat, of course, with that colour that I made up. The little hamster is eating a lollipop, playing Game Boys and talking on his phone. Pretty much what kids do today. He does have his hat on. And then this one is the little rabbit. Now she's got her toenails done. She's got a fan on the phone, pretty butterfly on the back. There is a little bow here on the front, and she has her feathery hat on. So that's this little one. The pocket hugs, I've done the green one, the yellow one, and I've put them on the cards already, and the little red one. Now these should all be glow in the dark, hopefully. I haven't tested them because I haven't had them in the light enough. And then I've done all of these keychains. Each keychain has a couple of charms on it, and then this little hook. So there's the purple one, the pink one, the brownie one that I made up, that colour, and all with two charms. One's with words. This one I put a little extra tassel on. And they've just got the clear bails on the back. The blue one, green. Be good if you could see it. Orange, and this yellowy colour. Apart from that, that's it. So I'm now going to take photos for you guys, put them at the end of the video, wrap these up, and I am going to show you this because I thought I was actually videoing me doing this, but I didn't. So this is the finished product for my granddaughter's teacher. So unfortunately, I turned the video on and recorded all my family and what they were saying. Then I turned it off thinking I was turning it on, and so I didn't record the pouring of this. So, my bad. And then the little shaker turtle. I like the back better. It's really pretty on the back. But these little green spots are the fluoro bits in the green. That's why they dropped. But it's a little shaker. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and if you like my content, please like, share and subscribe. Check out my eBay store if you wish. The link is in the description. I will be adding more stuff to the eBay store. And subscribing doesn't cost you anything, but it sure helps me. So thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.